All right, everyone, get ready for this because today we are really going deep on physics simulations.
All fun.
You know, those things that let us see physics in action without like needing a whole lab.
Right, right.
We're checking out a website. It's called Open Educational Resources / Open Source Physics at Singapore. And let me tell you, this website is awesome.
It's amazing.
If you want to learn about physics in a fun way, this is the place to be.
Absolutely.
We'll be focusing on one simulation in particular today. It's called the Astro Blaster Toy JavaScript HTML5 applet simulation model.
Catchy title.
I know, right? But the simulation itself is even cooler than the name.
For sure.
Have you ever seen one of those Astro Blaster toys?
Oh, yeah.
You drop a stack of balls, and the top one flies way higher than you'd expect.
It's wild. Like, how does that even work?
Exactly, and that's what makes it such a great way to illustrate some key physics principles.
Like, we're talking conservation of momentum, energy transfer, all that good stuff.
Yeah, it seems simple, but there's a lot going on behind the scenes. And the best part is, this website lets you play with a virtual version of the Astro Blaster right in your web browser.
That's so cool.
It doesn't matter if you're on your phone, tablet, or computer, you can tinker with the variables and see how it all works.
Like a virtual physics lab.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So let's talk about why the Astro Blaster is so fascinating from a physics standpoint.
Okay, so you drop that stack of balls, right?
Right.
They have momentum.
Okay.
And as the balls collide, that momentum gets transferred.
Like a chain reaction.
Exactly. From the bottom ball to the one above it and so on.
So that's why the top ball shoots off with so much energy.
It's basically getting a boost from all the balls below it.
It's like it's defying gravity.
Well, not quite defying, but it's definitely using physics in a clever way.
And in the simulation, you get to control that.
You can change the number of balls, the weight of the balls, the height of the drop, all sorts of things.
Wow, so you're not just observing the physics.
You're manipulating it.
Yeah.
It's like being a physicist in your own little virtual world.
That's what's so cool about this website.
Yeah.
It's not just passively watching videos or reading. You're actively involved.
You're experimenting, you're making discoveries, you're learning by doing.
And this simulation in particular, it's categorized on the website under all sorts of serious physics topics.
Oh yeah, like Newtonian mechanics,
Dynamic,
energy, work, power.
even gravity.
It's a testament to how much physics is packed into this seemingly simple toy.
It's like, yeah, it's fun to play with, but there's some serious science behind it.
It really highlights how physics is everywhere, even in the toys we play with as kids.
And the fact that you can explore all these related concepts through the website is amazing.
They've really created a whole physics playground here.
It is, isn't it?
And it's not just some obscure physics thing either. They have this video linked on the page from Physics Girl.
I love her video.
She's great. And her being involved just shows how much interest there is in this kind of stuff.
Okay, that's awesome. But before we go any further, I want to make sure we're not losing sight of our listeners.
Of course.
Like, why should anyone care about a physics simulation? Especially one focused on a toy?
That's a fair point.
What's the big takeaway? What can we learn from this?
Well, I think it's about more than just the Astro Blaster or even physics in general.
Oh,
It's about understanding how things work.
okay.
Like, the Astro Blaster takes something that seems magical and breaks it down into understandable pieces.
I see.
It lets you see how energy and momentum work in a way that's tangible and engaging.
I guess that's true. It's not just for physics nerds.
Exactly. These are skills that can be applied to so many things in life. Problem solving, critical thinking, even just understanding how the world around us works.
You know, I used to think physics was all boring formulas and textbooks.
Yeah, I get that.
But this makes me want to go build stuff, experiment, see the physics in action for myself.
Exactly. And that's what it's all about.
Sparking that curiosity.
Yeah. And realizing that physics isn't just some abstract subject. It's all around us. And it's actually pretty amazing.
And who knows, maybe we'll even inspire some future physicists along the way.
Maybe. But even if not, just getting people excited about science is a win in my book.
Absolutely. All right, so we've talked about the website,
The simulation.
the physics behind it all.
It's been a great discussion so far.
It has.
But I think it's time to take things to the next level.
Oh, what do you have in mind?
Well, I'm thinking, what if we challenged our listeners to take this knowledge and apply it to the real world?
Oh, that's a good idea.
What if they tried to recreate the Astro Blaster effect themselves?
It's like build their own versions.
Exactly. Obviously, we're not building rockets here.
Right.
But maybe experimenting with different types of balls, seeing how the drop height changes things, maybe even building a little contraption.
That would be so cool.
It's about taking those virtual experiments and bringing them into the tangible world.
I love it.
You can even turn it into a fun project with friends or family.
Who knows? Maybe someone will discover something new, come up with their own physics-defying trick.
That would be amazing. But even if not, you're still going to learn something in the process.
Right, you'll be thinking critically, problem solving, and having fun along the way.
Exactly. And if building things isn't your thing, that's okay too.
Okay.
Remember all those other simulations on the website?
Yeah.
Maybe this deep dive sparked a curiosity about something else.
That's a good point.
Gravity was just one popular tag among many.
True, true.
What other mysteries of the universe are you ready to unravel?
That's a great question for our listeners to ponder.
It is.
There's a whole world of physics out there waiting to be explored.
Absolutely.
And with these simulations, it's like having a key to unlock those secrets.
It's like having a passport to a whole new world of knowledge.
I like that analogy.
So to our listener, we say, go forth and explore.
Dive into the world of physics simulations.
And see what amazing insights you uncover.
And hey, if you create your own Astro Blaster experiment, let us know. We'd love to see what you come up with.
For sure.
Until next time, keep those minds curious and those questions coming.
Always be curious.
And we'll see you on our next deep dive.
Bye, everyone.
See?
And that's the thing with physics. You know, it's not just about formulas and equations.
It's about more than just the theory.
Yeah, it's about seeing those concepts come to life, understanding the why behind the what.
I like that.
And this website, it's like having a giant toolbox for exploring physics.
Oh, yeah.
The sheer number of simulations here is incredible.
It really is.
And some of the titles are, well, let's just say they're creative.
Like Cupcakes 3 Stacked Together Falling.
Exactly. Who knew cupcakes could be so physicsy?
Right. It's like a reminder that physics is everywhere, even in our desserts.
It really is.
And then there's this section at the bottom called Popular Tags.
Oh, right.
It looks like gravity is a pretty popular topic.
Makes sense. Gravity's kind of a big deal.
It is. It's what keeps us grounded, literally.
Yeah, without gravity, we'd all be floating around.
But looking at the Astro Blaster simulation, it's not like the balls are just falling straight down.
Sure.
There's all this energy transfer and motion happening.
Right, and that just shows how even a simple concept like gravity can lead to complex and often surprising effects.
So the simulation helps us explore those nuances.
Exactly. Well, you see how gravity interacts with other forces, like momentum.
Okay, so let's say I'm playing with the simulation, changing the number of balls, the weight, the drop height.
Okay.
Am I just messing around, or can I actually learn something valuable from this? Like, does this connect back to real-world physics?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's actually one of the best things about simulation.
What do you mean?
They let you experiment in a safe and controlled environment.
Okay.
You can isolate variables, see their effects. It's like having a virtual laboratory at your fingertips.
So it's not just about getting the top ball to fly as high as possible. It's about understanding the relationships between the variables and the outcomes.
Exactly. You start to see patterns, and those patterns often reflect the underlying laws of physics.
So by playing with this simulation, I'm essentially conducting mini physics experiments.
You got it. And who knows, maybe you'll even stumble upon something unexpected, an observation that makes you question what you thought you knew.
It's like those aha moments in science.
Precisely. That's how breakthroughs happen, by questioning, exploring, and experimenting.
This is making me think about all those other simulations on this website. If we can learn so much from a toy like the Astro Blaster,
Imagine the possibilities.
what could we learn by diving into more complex phenomena?
It's pretty exciting to think about.
It really is. And the website makes it so accessible to everyone.
Exactly. It's not just for students or scientists. It's for anyone who's ever looked up at the night sky and wondered how it all works.
Or anyone who's ever dropped a stack of balls and been amazed by the result.
That too. It's about sparking that curiosity, that desire to understand the world around us.
Okay, I love all that. But before we get too carried away, I want to bring it back to the Astro Blaster for a second.
Okay.
You mentioned how manipulating the variables in the simulation helps us understand real-world physics.
Right.
Can you give us a concrete example of that?
Here, let's think about something like rocket science.
Rocket science.
Yeah. You need to know how much thrust is required to overcome Earth's gravity and launch a rocket into space.
Okay.
And guess what? The principles of momentum and energy transfer, the same principles that govern the Astro Blaster,
Yeah.
they're crucial in rocket science too.
Wow, so playing with the Astro Blaster is basically a mini lesson in rocket
In
science.
a way, yes.
Yeah,
And that's just one example.
I'm sure there are others.
Oh, tons. Think about car crashes, sports, even the way we walk. The principles of physics are at play everywhere, often in ways we don't even realize.
It's mind-blowing when you think about it like that.
It really is. Physics isn't just an abstract subject.
Right.
It's the language of the universe.
Okay, so we've talked about the website, the simulations, the physics behind it all.
We've covered a lot of ground.
But now I want to bring it back to our listener.
Of course.
What's the takeaway here? What can you actually do with this information?
That's a great question, and I think the takeaway goes beyond just the Astro Blaster or even just physics.
Oh, okay.
It's about cultivating a mindset of curiosity.
Curiosity.
Yeah, of asking why and seeking out answers.
Okay, I can see that.
It's about realizing that learning can happen anywhere, anytime, and that there are incredible resources out there.
Like this website.
Exactly. Just waiting to be explored.
So it's not just about understanding the Astro Blaster.
It's about understanding the world around us and our place in it.
And it's about being an active participant in the learning process, not just a passive observer.
Absolutely. It's about empowering yourself with knowledge.
Whether that knowledge is about physics, history, art, whatever sparks your curiosity.
Exactly. The world is full of fascinating things to discover, and you have the tools to do it.
It's like a call to action.
It is.
Don't just sit there, go out and explore. Okay, so we've covered a lot about the Astro Blaster simulation.
Yeah, it's amazing how much physics we can learn from a simple toy.
Right. It's like this whole hidden world.
It is, and the simulation just brings it all to life.
And that's what I want to focus on now, bringing it to life.
Bringing what to life?
The physics, I mean, we've been talking about it, exploring it virtually, but what if we took it a step further?
A step further, like what?
What if we tried to recreate the Astro Blaster effect ourselves?
Oh, you mean in the real world?
Yeah. Like, obviously we're not building rockets or anything.
Right.
But maybe we could experiment with different kinds of balls.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
See how changing the drop height affects things, maybe even build a little contraption.
That's a fantastic idea. It's all about taking those virtual experiments and making them real, tangible.
Exactly. And who knows, maybe we'll discover something new in the process.
Or at least have some fun trying.
Exactly. And even if we don't make any groundbreaking discoveries, we'll still be learning by doing.
That's what it's all about.
Right. Thinking critically, problem solving, and maybe even getting a little messy along the way.
Science is all about getting your hands dirty.
So to our listeners, we challenge you to take this deep dive into the real world.
Get creative. Experiment with the Astro Blaster effect and see what you can discover.
And if building things isn't your thing, that's okay too.
There's still a whole universe of physics out there to explore.
Maybe this episode sparked an interest in something else.
Like those other simulations on the website, remember?
Yeah, gravity was just one popular tag among many.
There are so many other mysteries waiting to be unraveled.
So keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep that curiosity alive.
And most importantly, have fun doing it.
That's what it's all about. Until next time, keep those minds curious and those questions coming.
See you on our next deep dive.
Bye, everyone.